Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect pushing the truth of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright, this is a new a video series entitled Woe to the Bloody City, and basically the concept behind it is I'm going to go into the different massacres that occurred on this continent, North America, Central and South America. Alright, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, to show people that this land is cursed, man. It's not a spooky thing. Alright, this land that you're standing on is a cursed land, man. The reason why the missiles have to destroy this place is because it shed the blood of the Israelites, man. Alright, so the first topic I'm going to deal with is the Wounded Knee massacre of 1890. Alright, and I'm gonna first go into the ghost dance, though, to show you brothers some information on that led up to the Wounded Knee massacre. But first I'm gonna bring out Numbers 35 verse 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Meaning that the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed, except the person that shed it, his blood be shed. Alright, so the white man, he shed the blood of you North American Indians, of you Negroes, of you Seminole Indians, of you so-called Mexicans, so forth and so on. So guess what? His blood has to be shed. Alright, the one you know as Jesus Christ, the Lord, he came for the Israelites. He was known as Shiloh, peaceable one, to bring peace between the Israelites and the Messiah, the Father. Okay, the peace he's talking about is for the elect of Israel. Alright, other than that, you go to Deuteronomy, it tells you an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a burn for a burn, a stripe for a stripe, man. Alright, it's a cause and effect balance, man. Alright, for every action is a reaction. You reap what you sow. It's simple. Verse 34, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. And who was dwelling here prior to 1492? You had the tribe of Gad in America, and Reuben and Issachar, which is the North American Indians, the Seminole Indians, and the so-called Mexicans. Right? And their blood was shed on this land, and they are the children of Israel. So guess what? Blood has to be shed for them. And whose blood? Mainly the white man. Alright, because he's the sole perpetrator. Alright, so let's go to Habakkuk 2. And I'm going to start at verse 9. Alright, so this is Habakkuk 2 and 9. Alright, it says, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house. And the covetousness basically means you see something and you want it, and you steal it and you take it, man. Like you covet another man's wife, you covet her, you lust after her in your heart, and you take her, you steal her from that man by committing what? The act of adultery. So the white man saw this land, alright, he saw the people on it, he killed them, and he coveted this land. Alright, that he may set his nest on high. Now who's that talking about, man? 1969, you had the fucking bullshit moon landing, alright, which is a damn hoax. But that's the white man. He set his nest upon high, right? He's the one that now look at America, right? The height of the world, right? The American dream, the bald eagle, the highest flying bird in the sky, right? It says that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Verse 10, thou was consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. So you have consulted shame, man, and we're showing you that shame. Don't come to us about no fucking America, Canada. If you got a problem with me cursing, man, just turn off the damn video, man. A lot of people watch the video. I don't know why you watching the video, man. If you got a problem with me cursing, using rude speech, don't watch the video. You people out there are too preoccupied with how the message is delivered rather than the actual message. But yeah, don't bring us that message about, oh, yeah, Canada, America, this great land. No, this is built upon bones, man. You got a lot of fucking bones in your closet, man. You got a skeleton in your closet. All right? You got a lot of bloodshed that was spilt in this land. Now you want to deck your table with Thanksgiving and have this nice little parade and all this fucking bullshit and honor and exonerate yourself, man. You're just a, man, that's why the scriptures call America a whore. You know, it looks good on the outside. You know, you're all decked out nice, wearing nice clothes. You got makeup on, you got the rings on, the necklace. Inside, man, you all fucking defiled as hell. Had hundreds of men through you. You know, got syphilis, gonorrhea running through you. You know, got all kind of STDs. That's America, man. That's Canada. Alright? It says, "For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity." That's America, that's Canada, that's Central America. Alright, behold, is it not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity? For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. And as you just seen that today. Right? The earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's showing us that knowledge, and we're bringing out the truth, man. You know, we're bringing out the knowledge of the Most High and His Son. Right? It says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth the bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, so that thou mayest look on their nakedness." Man, what that's going into is philosophies. You know, when you came here, you took down Gad. You know, you had your bio warfare, you had your actual warfare, and when you settled them on the reservation, you took their children and you put them in what you call residential schools. And there you fed them that bullshit, that bottle, that drink, that philosophy, Christianity. Alright, to where you got natives thinking Jesus is white, you know, and all this madness. And on a side note, you actually did give Gad the actual bottle, man. That's one of the main, that's the main perpetrators, that's the main reason how you got this land. You gave him liquor, alcohol. You made him drunk. Alright? And you made him sign treaties and shit when he was drunk, and sign over the deeds to the land. Alright? It says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." Man, that's beautiful. That's what we're doing today. Yeah, that's why you see the brothers out there. We're doing, every time on the highways we're doing a lesson, it's a shameful spewing, man. You know, it's not, oh, we're so hate-filled with this and that. We're just bringing you the facts, man. The facts are out there. You know, they may be a little hid. You may have to do a little reading. You know, go into some research. Tedious labor. Alright? You know, we're not watching the fucking playoffs of the NFL, man. Or the you know, the hockey league and shit. You know, that you got these other going out there distracted with that bullshit, man. We're out there researching all the info that's out there, and we're bringing it out, and how it's being brought out, it's not looking good for you, Mr. White Man. All right, we're showing you this information, and it's a shameful spewing, man, because everything that this country is built on is a shame, man. You know, it's not no damn glory. So we're revealing your nakedness. Meaning your shame. When you see a man's nakedness, that's a shame. That's a damn shame, you know. So this is called American Indian Holocaust and Survival: A Population's History since 1492 by Russell Thornton. Alright, so I'm gonna go into the gold stands first, like I said, because that leads up to the Wounded Knee, and there's a lot of info on that too, on the gold stands. Alright, if you watch the movie Bury My Heart, A Wounded Knee, they show you some parts of the ghost dance, you know, like some info on it. So this is from chapter 6, The Great Ghost Dancers. It says, in response to severe demographic losses and resulting social and cultural collapse, many Western American Indian tribes, particularly the smaller ones and those that suffered larger population losses turned not to a place in American society but away from it. They sought to re-establish former societies, cultures, even populations. Okay, page 136. As disciples and others spread the 1870 religion to more and more American Indian tribes, and the tribes adapted it to their circumstances and beliefs, new prophecies were added to Wodziwobs, as were new ways that existing prophecies might be fulfilled. A common new prophecy was the return to earth of an abundance of the animals, fish, and flora on which American Indians had depended for food. Alright? So, there was in around the 1870s, it said there was also prophecies that happened of ghost dances that were occurring, but it wasn't as it didn't spark as did the later of who they call Wovoka. Alright, they call him Wovoka, which is the man that had a vision during an eclipse, and he saw the vision of the ghost dance, and that's where it came about. And this is what we're going to read. It says, common additions to existing prophecies involve the elimination of non-Indians. Some tribes said by fire, meaning the white men. So they know. They just showed you some said by fire. What fire? Is it talking about getting a gasoline canister and going around an Edomite's house and lighting on fire? No, man. It's talking about the missiles. They know about that. Certain prophecies God knows about. Alright, so some said by fire. Alright, some said by a supreme ruler would bring them. Who's that? Yahushua. Right? It says, in the return of the dead, some said a supreme ruler would bring them. Some said they would return from the rising, some said they would return from graves. And some said the dead would return from the rising sun in armies. Hey, that's in Thessalonians, the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. So when the chariots come, you know, you're gonna have the brothers that in the truth that died in the faith, that fought the good fight, right? And they're gonna return with the Lord from where? The rising of the sun and from the east. Okay. So let's go to page 144 now. So these are some excerpts or verses from the ghost dance that they said. That says a Sioux song has both themes. The whole world is coming, a nation is coming, a nation is coming. The eagle has brought the message to the tribe. The Father says so, the Father says so. Over the whole earth they are coming. The buffalo are coming, the buffalo are coming. The crow has brought the message to the tribe. The Father says so, the Father says so. Alright, and then it says finally, finally, two Arapaho songs, although they do not contain prophecies, vividly describe the tribe's history since the European arrival. My children, when at first I liked the whites. My children, when at first I liked the whites. I gave them fruits, I gave them fruits. Father, have pity on me. Father, have pity on me. I am crying for thirst, I am crying for thirst. All is gone, I have nothing to eat. All is gone, I have nothing to eat. You see? So, you got that you were nice to the white man. You gave him fruits. Now you're crying for thirst. You have nothing to eat. Because the white man took it all from you. He subjugated you, man. And you should have known better. Alright, and I have a message for you natives today. First Nations, Aboriginals. That, you know, the white man is never going to like you. And he's never going to reconcile with you. He's not your friend. He's your fucking enemy, man. Get that through your fucking thick ass skull. Alright, stop trying to meet with Stephen Harper, you know, Chief Spence. She's not a fucking real chief, man. She's a damn sellout. I Don't Know More is not a grassroots organization. It's incorporated, man. Look it up. I Don't Know More is incorporated, man. In Canada here, alright? Stop looking to this white man or the individualism, this and that. They all have this. They all have the spirit of Satan on them, or the evil one. All right, going back to Let's go back to Tecumseh's brother, Tenskwatawa. He told you the white man or the white people are the children of the evil one. Plain and simple, man. It's not hard. Alright? Let's go to page 146. Most American Indians in the Dakotas faced difficult conditions at the time of the 1890 ghost dance. Alright, but it was perhaps more true of the Sioux than any other tribe that their involvement in the 1890 religion was a result of harsh experiences immediately preceding it. Having heard of the ghost dance, it says, through contacts with other prairie tribes, the Sioux, the Northern Cheyenne, and the Northern Arapaho sent a joint delegation late in 1889 to talk with Wovoka in Nevada. The Sioux delegates returned several months later in March 1890, and after deliberations with tribal leaders, they and others began to preach the doctrine of the ghost dance among numerous Sioux bands. As I have indicated, they called it Wanagi Wadapi, literally the spirit, ghost or soul dance, because ghost just means spirit at the end of the day. You can make it, they try to make it sound like it's a devil thing or spooky, like, oh, ghost dance. But ghost, when you look it up, it just means spirit. So it means spirit dance, It says the Sioux Indians were not the only ones in the Dakotas who had heard of the ghost dance. Settlers and U.S. Indian agents had heard of it also, and they reacted with apprehension and fear. Rumors abounded that the Sioux intended to annihilate settlers. An 1890 report of an agent at Standing Rock Reservation stated, I feel it my duty to report the present craze and nature of the excitement existing among the Sitting Bull faction of Indians over the expected Indian millennium, the annihilation of the white man, and supremacy of the Indian, which is looked for in the near future and promised by the Indian medicine men as not later than next spring, when the new grass begins to appear and is known among the Sioux as the return of the ghosts. They are promised by some members of the Sioux tribe who have lately developed into medicine men that the Great Spirit has promised them that their punishment by the dominant race has been sufficient, and that their numbers, having now become so decimated, will be reinforced by all Indians who are dead, that the dead are all returning to re-inhabit the earth. It says, which belongs to the Indians, that they are driving back with them as they return immense herds of buffalo and elegant wild horses to have for catching. That the Great Spirit promises them that the white man will be unable to make gunpowder in future, and all attempts at such will be a failure, and that the gunpowder now on hand will be useless against Indians, as it will not throw a bullet with sufficient force to pass through the skin of an Indian. There's spiritual power. That the Great Spirit had deserted the Indians for a long time, but is now with them and against the whites. So that's today, man. That's why you see Gadites waking up, Issacharites, Zebulonites. You're waking up, man, because that it's the prophecy, man, of the elect coming together, of the house of David, man. That's a beautiful thing. It wasn't time for this to happen back then. It was done out of great suffering. So they needed some hope, man. And what it culminated in was the Wounded Knee Massacre. It says, and will cover the earth over with 30 feet of additional soil, well sodded and timbered, under which the whites will all be smothered, and any whites who may escape these great phenomenon will become small fishes in the rivers of the country. But in order to bring about this happy result, the Indians must do their part and become believers and thoroughly organize. You got to believe in the Most High, man, and His Son. It says, several thousand U.S. troops were eventually sent to Sioux country, apparently as part of preparations to handle any outbreak. The appearance of troops created fear among the Sioux. Several thousand fled their home to take refuge in the South Dakota Badlands. You know, so 7,000 troops, man. They already put you on reservations, and now they're bringing 7,000 troops, which shows you the white man is scared of you, man. He knows you're superior, and that he's inferior, man. You know, why would he bring all those troops? 7,000 troops, man. You know. All right. Now I'm gonna go into this quick article just on the same topic, which is from a book called "Which Chosen People? Manifest Destiny Meets the Sioux." Frank Fisk. Right. So I'm gonna read a little from here. It says, it was in his 7th year, and what a year it was when he first thought out being one of God's chosen people. He wasn't sure whether he was one, right? Or what it really meant. Some of the soldiers had said things about the whites being a special and talked about, some of the soldiers had said things about whites being special and talked about something they called manifest destiny, which seemed to be related to why they were in charge. The teachers also said the Indians' religion was wrong, which at the end of the day, when the white man took us over, all right, the manifest destiny, meaning that their destiny was manifested, that they're apparently the stronger race. It's not so. It's half and half, because at the end of the day, it was prophecy for us to go down. You know, you had the prophecies that were meant for the white man to come here and to take over our people and to bring us down to a low state. All right, but the manifest destiny is right. But guess what? There's also a flip side. There's also manifest destiny to the white man. Your destiny is manifested in the scriptures, man. That you're gonna go down. Your kingdom's about to fall. Down here it says, it was when Kicking Bear had come to visit the old bull that everything changed, and it set him to thinking. Frank called him the old bull around at the moment, as Frank and others at Standing Rock had just learned Sitting Bull had recently heard a story he much preferred to the white man's claims and broken promises. Kicking Bear, a chief of the Lakota Sioux of the Minneconjou band, had told him of his vision quest, a Sioux rite of passage into manhood. That was a high expression of their religious life. Cleansing, fasting, and hardship preceded vision quest. Then a young man sought solitary communion with the unseen and waited for a vision that would give him identity and guide him on his way to proper living as an adult. The vision was usually kept private, but certain circumstances made it worth sharing. This was one of those circumstances, as would be his address to at the council meeting at the Hunkpapa Sioux that same year. In his vision, we can research Kicking Bear, he's a great medicine man, but in his vision, Kicking Bear had gone on a long journey and was taking up a great ladder of small clouds through an opening in the sky. There he met the Great Spirit, who let him view the camping grounds of his ancestors since the beginning of time, and told him that the Indians were his chosen people for all future time. So the chosen people were the Indians. You know, so the Most High told them, listen, you're the chosen people. You know, you are the chosen people of me. I chose you, right? You know, so that's the spirit, man. It says, his Indian friends said their parents and older brothers told them that it wasn't news, that it just confirmed what Indians in many places around the country were saying. It was consistent with the statement of an Indian prophet from a tribe far to the west who had a famous vision during the eclipse of the sun on January 1st, 1889. The Indian prophet from near the base of the Sierras was named Wovoka. He said he was the son of God and had once been killed by the whites. On his body were scars of crucifixion. He was returning to punish the whites for their wickedness, especially their injustice towards the Indians. His message was Jesus is now on earth, and the dead would return next winter or in the spring with the coming of spring. In 1891, He would wipe the whites from the face of the earth, resurrect all the dead Indians, bring back the buffalo and other game, and restore the supremacy of the Indians. You know, hey, that's some information, man. You know, this is from the next page. So this is going into the ghost dance because this the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua showed me this book. Because you know, you go on Wikipedia or research some other stuff, and you won't find a lot of this information, man. You know, because they try to hide it, because it's a secret thing, man. The ghost dance. I mean, it's well known. You know, you watch the movie, and there's that scene when you had the Wolverka. He was explaining about, you know, when he says, I had a vision, you know, and in my vision I saw the heavens of the white robes, right? And he said the white man will be no more. But really, as you see here, they knew they were the chosen people, man. That they were the chosen people of the Most High, the Israelites. All right. A Cheyenne Indian named Porcupine was a delegate from the Tongues River Reservation in Montana and had also visited Wovoka and had his recollections recorded by an interpreter when he returned home. He said, Christ had summoned myself and others from all heathen tribes. I had heard that Christ had been crucified, and I looked to see, and I saw a scar on his wrist and on one of it and on his face, and he seemed to be the man. All right. It says, Wovoka gathered all tribes who had come to see him and continued, in the beginning, after God made the earth, they sent me back to teach the people, and on earth the people were afraid of me and treated me badly. This is what they did to me. Then he showed them his scars and said, I did not try to defend myself. I found my children were bad, so I went back to heaven and left them. I told them that in so many 100 years I would come back to see my children. My father told me the earth was getting old and worn out, and the people getting bad, and I was to renew everything as it used to be and make it better. He then taught them the sacred dance. It says, I, Jack Wilson, which is Wovoka's English name, love you all, and this is a speech basically, right? And my heart is full of gladness for the gifts which you have brought me. When you get home, I shall give you some food, I shall give you some good cloud, which will make you feel good. Do not tell the white people about this. Jesus is now upon earth. The dead are all alive on earth. I do not know when they will be here, maybe this fall or in the spring. When the time comes, there will be no more sickness, and everyone will be younger again. When the earth shakes at the coming of the new world, do not be afraid, it will not hurt you. I want you to dance every 6 weeks. Then bathe in the water, that is all. You know? So, hey, he said the earth is going to shake. Right? Well, which is what? The missiles. Because it tells you what is in Isaiah, the earth shall roll to and fro like a drunkard, man. Because when the missiles hit, 200 million missiles, man. You know? That's a hell of a earthquake, man. Right, it says everything sounded so promising and simple, but the one part the Dakota Sioux thought they could improve on was the dancing. If dancing every 6 weeks would rid them of their white nemesis and bring back days of open prairies with no fences or boundaries, why not dance more? Why not dance every day to make things happen more quickly? The dances started at Standing Rock, Pine Ridge, Rosebud, and Cheyenne reservations, and because they were intended to bring the return of the Indians who had died, they were labeled ghost dances. In Indian country, right, so they were called ghost or spirit dances, but in Indian country, they were called the dance to Christ. So why is this not known? Well known, because it's a secret. The dance to Christ, and it's a big phenomenon. But you had many prophets that seen the Lord too. I'm talking about Yahweh Shai. Go to Handsome Lake. He was Iroquois. I believe it was Seneca. But he saw the Lord. He saw Jesus. And guess what Jesus told him, or who you call Jesus? He told him, do not follow the ways of the white man. Right? You know, so that's the truth, man. All right. I believe that was it. Yeah, that was it on from this article. But that's just some information. That's to go a little deeper into the ghost dance. All right, you know, it's really called spirit dance or the dance to Christ. You know, and it's again, you can get it from Google. This book, and this was on page 1, and it was on various other pages too. But you can read through it. It's a pretty good book. But it's again called "Which Chosen People," right? Because the white man says we're chosen, and then here we are saying we're chosen. So, which chosen people? Manifest Destiny meets the Sioux by Frank Fisk. All right, so that's some information right there. All right. Alright, so picking up from earlier, from American Indian Holocaust, same book. Now we're going to go into the massacre, actual massacre of Wounded Knee. So we went into the ghost dance a little and showed you. So this was obviously scaring the hell out of the white man. So we brought several thousand troops to the reservation. So this is page 151. It says, the tragedy at Wounded Knee Creek. Following the shooting of Sitting Bull, there was a violent fight between the Indian police and Sitting Bull's followers until the police finally drove them away. Many of Sitting Bull's Hankpapa surrendered, but several dozen continued to perform the ghost dances or ghost dance ceremonies at the Cheyenne River Reservation under the leader Bigfoot, as Ted Money at the Cheyenne Reservation, under the leader of Bigfoot, as tensions on Cheyenne River and other Dakota reservations further escalated. The ghost dancers soon broke away and, joined by others, fled toward the Badlands. Military orders were given to intercept Bigfoot. He was captured by Major Samuel M. Whiteside, commander of the 1st Squadron of the 7th Cavalry, on December 28, 1890. Near the Badlands he had sought. It says Bigfoot had asked for a parley under a white flag of truce, but was refused. When he surrendered to Major Woodside, he and his followers were taken to a location on Wounded Knee Creek in the Pine Ridge Reservation. Alright, it says additional troops of the 7th Cavalry under Colonel James W. Forsyth joined Major Woodside at Wounded Knee Creek, bringing with them 4 Hotchkiss machine guns. And the Hotchkiss machine gun during this time was a new invention, which back in the day they had the Gatling gun, which shot bullets. A Hotchkiss gun shoots exploding shells, basically. All right, it's not like a mortar. It's a shell that is shot, and when it hits it explodes. So it's an exploding shell, man. It's like fucking exploding. It's like a shooting grenades almost. All right, but even more deadlier. The total number of military men was now 470. There were 106 warriors with Bigfoot and numerous women and children and old men, for a total of about 350 to 375 Indians. On December 29, 1890, the military made preparations to disarm Bigfoot's warriors before taking them approximately 20 miles to the Pine Ridge Agency for removal by the railroad to the Cheyenne River Reservation. It says Mooney, which is he was a historian, but they term him as a ethnologist, I believe, which is a study of different ethnicities. James Mooney, that was his name. He described the scene, and he says, in obedience to instructions, the Indians had pitched their teepees on the open plain a short distance west of the creek, and surrounded on all sides by the soldiers. In the center of the camp, the Indians had hoisted a white flag as a sign of peace and a guarantee of safety. Behind the Indians, on a slight rise, were the 4 Hotchkiss guns, pointing directly toward the camp. A little after 8 o'clock in the morning, the Sioux warriors were directed to deliver their arms. Only a few did, and some soldiers surrounded them while others searched the teepees. Tensions was building when one warrior, Black Fox it is said, drew a rifle from under his blanket and fired at the soldiers. They fired back, killing perhaps one half the warriors in a single volley. Hand-to-hand combat ensued between the surviving warriors and soldiers. The massacre had only commenced, Mooney wrote. At the first volley of the Hotchkiss guns trained on the camp opened fire, and sent a storm of shells and bullets among the women and children who had gathered in front of the teepees to watch the unusual spectacle of military display. The guns poured in 2-pound explosive shells at the rate of nearly 50 per minute, mowing down everything alive. The terrible effect may be judged from the fact that one woman survivor, Blue Whirlwind, with whom the author converts, received 14 wounds, while each of her 2 little boys was also wounded by her side. In a few minutes, 200 Indian men, women, and children with 60 soldiers were lying dead and wounded on the ground. The teepees had been torn down by the shells, and some of them were burning above the helpless wounded, and the surviving handful of Indians were flying in wild panic to the shelter of the ravine, pursued by hundreds of maddened soldiers and followed up by ranking fire from the Hotchkiss guns, which had been moved into position to sweep the ravine. Okay, page 154. It says, fully 3 miles from the scene of the massacre, we found the body of a woman completely covered with a blanket of snow, and from this point on we found them scattered along as they had been relentlessly hunted down and slaughtered while fleeing for their lives. Some of our people discovered relatives or friends among the dead, and there was much wailing and mourning. When we reached the spot where the Indian camp had stood, among the fragments of burned tents and other belongings, we saw the frozen bodies lying close together or piled up one another. By that time, many of the bodies had been removed by other Indians. The troops then threw the remaining almost 150 dead Sioux into a large trench and buried them. The bodies were mostly naked, as the troops had stripped them of their ghost shirts. They were only dead Indians. You know, they're fucking devils, man. Later, the mass grave was fenced, and the Sioux coated the fence post with sacred red paint, used it in their ghost dance ceremonies. Right, as you see here, this is the burial. And then, all these crackers, man, you see them, they're not remorseful, man. Even in the movie, they try to show, we didn't fire first, man. You know, it wasn't our fault. We're so sorry. These crackers are laughing, man. It's like a lynch photo, where all the crackers have a great smile on their face, man. You know, and it's not even a grave site, man. It's like a fucking, it's a dump site. You know, they just take the bodies, they just pile them up one over the other. You know, it's a fucking, it's like a dump site, man. All right. So page 157. It says, conversely, the prospect of the dead's return could bring hope of total restoration of Indian societies by turning lost knowledge and tribal practices, by returning lost knowledge and tribal practices. What is that lost knowledge? If the natives, they always had that knowledge, but what is this lost knowledge? Because even during the time of their downfall, they were still practicing, doing ceremonies, this and that, right? So what is this lost knowledge? It's the truth. It's your real truth, man. You know, the laws of the Most High. You know, that all the tribes at one point had. As the anthropologist Alexander Lesser has expressed it, Indian ways were not gone, never to be recovered. Indian ways were coming back. Those who had lived before the Golden Age were still carrying on old ceremonies, old dances, old performances, and old games and the beyond. They were coming back. They were bringing the old ways and the buffalo. Dance, dance, dance. The white man would be destroyed by a great wind. The Indian would be left with the buffalo, with his ancestors, with his old friends and his old enemies. Cast aside the white man's ways like an old garment. Put on the clothes of the Indian again. Get ready for the new day and the old times. Hey, you know, that's a beautiful thing. The white man will be destroyed by a great wind. What is that great wind? The missiles. Right? The thermonuclear destruction. That's coming. That's coming these times, man. Alright, that's coming in these days. Alright, these prophecies are gonna be fulfilled, man. These prophecies, man, when they start rolling through, alright, they're already rolling, man. When they start snowball effect, gonna be over for you crackers, man. All right, so I'm gonna. That was the book, American Indian Holocaust and Survival, but I'm gonna go into a statement or an account of a survivor from the Wounded Knee Massacre. All right, and this is from, as you see here, pbs.org. All right, and this is from American Horse, which is a big Uncle Tom, man. He was a great supporter in treaties and all that bullshit. He was against the wars that the Lakota had against the white man, you know, and then look at what happened, you know. But this is his account, right? American Horse. It says the men were separated, as had. Sorry, let me just make this a little bigger. Yeah. All right. So it says the men were separated, as had already been said, from the women, and they were surrounded by the soldiers. Then came the next village of the Indians, and that was entirely surrounded by the soldiers also. When the firing began, of course, the people who were standing immediately around the young men who fired the first shot were killed right together, and then they turned their guns, Hotchkiss guns, etc., upon the women who were in the lodges standing under a flag of truce. And of course, as soon as they fired upon, they fled, the men fleeing in the one direction and the women running in two different directions, so that they were three general directions in which they took flight. There were three general directions in which they took flight. There was a woman with an infant in her arms, who was killed as she almost touched the flag of truce. And the woman and children, of course, were strewn all along the circular village until they were dispatched. It says, right near the flag of truce, a mother was shot down with her infant. The child, not knowing that its mother was dead, was still nursing, and that especially was a very sad sight. The women, as they were fleeing with their babes, were killed together, shot right through, and the women who were very heavy with child were also killed. All the Indians fled in these three directions, and after all of them had been killed, a cry was made that all those who were not killed, wounded, should come forth, and they would be safe. Little boys who were not wounded came out of their places of refuge, and as soon as they came in sight, a number of soldiers surrounded them and butchered them there. That's a fucking devil, man. You know, he tells you, oh, everything's okay, we're here to help you. You know, come out, it's gonna be safe. Little kids come out and they fucking kill them, man. They butchered them. That's the white man. That's why I said, man, you natives that trust this fucking devil, man, you need a rod of iron bash across your fucking head, man. Don't trust this fucking cracker, alright? He's a fucking devil, man. Alright? It says, of course, we all feel very sad about this affair. Fucking Uncle Tom, piece of shit. Get it? You Uncle, yeah, man. You Uncle Tomahawks, man. I'm gonna pray for a special death for you, man. I'm gonna pray to Yahweh Shem Yahshua I can witness some of your deaths, man. Alright? Talking about some sad affair. Let's carry on with the white man and his fucking treaties, man. You need a baton shove up your ass, man. Alright? You guys are fucking bunch of degenerates, man. Alright? It says, I stood very loyal to the government all through those troublesome days, and believing so much in the government and being so loyal to it, my disappointment was very strong, and I have come to Washington with a very great blame on my heart. Of course, it would have been all right if only the men were killed. It would have been all right if just the men were killed, man. That's why I say, man, may Yahweh Shem Yahshai let me see the downfall of you fucking Uncle Toms and you Uncle Tomahawks, man. Alright, I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahshai, man. Alright. It says we would feel almost grateful for it. Fucking piece of shit. You know? But the fact of the killing of the women, and more especially the killing of the young boys and girls who are to go up to make up the future strength of the Indian people, is the saddest part of the whole affair, and we feel it very sorely. It says, I was not there at the time before the burial of the bodies, but I did go there with some of the police and the Indian doctor and a great many of the people, men from the agency, and we went through the battlefield and saw where the dead bodies were from the track of the blood. You know? Fucking madness. And to close this session, for this great battle, quote unquote, alright, which is a massacre, there have been 20 Medal of Honor, alright, awarded to the 7th Cavalry for this massacre. Medal of Honor is the highest reward in battle in America, in the United States. And another fact, that 20 was given for this battle alone. That is the highest medals. All right, that is the highest reward, or the most numerous medals given in one single battle. World War One, II, Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, Korea. No war has ever seen a battle that is that was given 20 Medal of Honors to a unit. And this was given 20 Medals of Honor. You know, this is from the Guardian. All right. It basically it says the 20 Medal of Honors medals should be recited. All right. It says down here, sorry, up here. It says 120 years ago, the Pine Ridge Reservation witnessed the end of an epic, the end of a people fighting for their way of life. Many see it, in Wikipedia's words, as the last battle of the American Indian Wars. Except, it wasn't a battle, it was a massacre, you're damn right. And it was the end of life as Indians knew it. No more were the days of riding and hunting freely. Treaties have been broken time and again by the United States government. Millions of buffalo had been killed for their hides and for sport. Land was being taken left and right. Now this is the point here. It says, the Lakota were stunned that this could happen to them, but public opinion, the opinion of majority white America, was not on their side. Then a young newspaper editor, later the author of the wonderful Wizard of Oz, L. Frank Baum, editorialized for the Aberdeen Saturday Pioneer on January 3rd, 1891. He said, the Pioneer has before declared that our only safety depends upon the total extermination of the Indians. Having wronged them for centuries, we had better, in order to protect our civilization, follow it up by one more wrong, and wipe these untamed and untamable creatures from the face of the earth. In this lies future safety for our settlers and the soldiers who are under incompetent commands. Otherwise, we may expect future years to be as full of trouble with the Redskins as those have been in the past. Wow, that's some shit for you, you know. That's what the white man thinks of you natives, but you natives, and the same goes for you dumbass spics and you niggas, man. You will never fucking get it in your head. That's why 2/3 gotta go. Alright, I don't give a fuck what you say about IUIC, Nate, your camp, your fucking folly, jolly camp. Alright, 2/3 niggas, man, when they die, I'm gonna praise them most high. Alright? And I want the 2/3 to drop dead, because it's prophecy. Fucking niggas, man. Alright, it says, lending the United States official stamp to such attitudes, 20 troops were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for the action, an extraordinary triumphalist endorsement. Forsyth, which is the colonel, was later exonerated and promoted to Major General. To put those awards for military valor, the nation's highest honor, in context, as Joseph Huff Hannon pointed out in the Huffington Post, only 7 such medals have been awarded to members of the U.S. Armed Services during more than decade-long conflict in Afghanistan. And that's just 7. This was 20 for one fucking occurrence. All right, what are they telling you? Oh, you have such great honor for killing Indians, such great honor for butchering little boys, man. And telling them it's all safe to come out, unarmed little kids, and then butchering them. That's showing you the fucking white man. All right. So that was it on that. I hope you brothers learned some, man. And really, this is what it's doing for, at least for me, is perfecting my hatred towards the fucking devil, the white man. So when he comes up with this bullshit, that was 200 years ago. That was this and that. No, you gotta pay for your crimes of your forefathers, man. It's all recycled, man. Everything is recycled. Don't let the white man fool you. The spirit is always coming back in a new body. You just get a new set of clothes every time, man. Every go around. You have to pay for the crimes of your foreparents. Alright? This shit is not gonna stand. It's not gonna be left alone, man. This is a shameful spewing upon you devils, man. Alright, so Ka Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Alright, Brakata Yahweh Brakata Yahweh Shai. And double honors and Brakatham to the apostles of Great Millstone. Alright, and Brakatham to the elect, pushing the truth of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. May you Uncle Tom and Uncle Tomahawks fucking drop dead from a bowler, from a gunshot, from a fucking stab wound. I don't give a fuck, man. All right, from a boulder hitting your ass. All right, may all your enterprises and works terribly fail and your dreams collapse, man. All right, the zealots of our people I'm talking to. All right, and until next time, I say shalom.